From East Point to Buckhead, College Park to Bankhead. Dopest sports talk show on the radio. You heard what I said. Big Mason, E-Glade, highlights and big plays. From the East Coast to the West Coast, from Oregon to Georgia State. Touchdowns and home runs, slam dunks and long runs. Athletes and sports junkies. If you got the knowledge, come get you some. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Sound mad, get your team lost. Jerry Jones, cause I'm the boss. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Crush, Jack, yeah, black on.
And we're ready. We're here. Another Thursday afternoon. Or is it evening? What is it, Mason?
It's evening.
Thursday evening. East Coast in the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs. It's the Crush Sports Talk. This is your boy E-Glaze. That right there is that guy Maceo heard. We got a special guy. We're going to introduce him later. But right now, just call him Teddy P, man.
Teddy P.
Turn off the lights.
Turn them off.
Teddy P's in the building. He's going to hang out with us for the first part of the show. Then we're going to interview him afterward. You're going to want to hear this guy.
Yeah, man.
We've been, since we started this thing.
Right.
He's one of our first guests. Came in and now we still here.
He's family, man.
He's family.
He's family.
We connected
sure.
back again. How you doing, Teddy?
Pretty optimal right now.
That's
I
what's
don't
up.
think there's no better level to be on.
That's optimal.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I love
optimal.
it. I love it.
How you doing today, Mace?
I'm happy, man. NFL is finally back.
Yeah.
My baby is finally back.
And that's where we started, man.
I miss her. I love her.
Yeah.
I dream about her often.
And it's,
She's back.
you know, make sure we tonight, Kansas City,
I've been listening to slow jams all day.
Baltimore.
Because she back.
By the way, rest well to Rich Homie Quan. We did a photo. We've interviewed the young man a while
That's
ago.
our guy. We've had a couple of moments with Rich Homie.
So that
our
was
guy.
shocking to hear, man. So,
That was crazy.
That was
crazy.
crazy to hear today. But
Prayers up.
prayers to his family because
Yep.
we were, and also the people out there in Winder, Georgia. That's again,
Wow.
we kind of another terrible thing, man. So
14.
14-year-old. So
It's crazy.
But we're gonna change the atmosphere. We know you come to talk sports. So here we
Right,
go,
right. We're
man.
gonna take your mind off that for an
Kansas
hour.
City, Baltimore, Maceo.
Yes.
Let's start with this simple question. Yeah, this is the first game, but can Kansas City three-peat?
Yes, they can because they got that bad man, that quarterback.
He's a bad boy.
1-5.
1-5 is
Listen,
back.
and you and I have talked about this, and I want to make sure we put that out, put this part of it out here. We have to start talking about Andy Reid being the greatest coach in NFL history.
You getting greatest?
Dude, think. I want you to just think about this.
Okay, I'm listening.
And he's done it a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
With different quarterbacks,
Yeah.
different systems.
Yeah.
He's gone from one spot. It didn't quite work out,
Yeah.
but he got him there.
Yeah.
And now in Kansas City, where he kind of reinvented himself, dude. The other guy the GOAT, he had one quarterback for 20 years, man. And when that one quarterback left, now he on InstaFace.
I can hear the typing. I can hear the people. I can hear all the
It's fine.
But
It's fine.
And
Let's
he wasn't loyal to anyone either.
He wasn't.
And Andy Reid has been.
Yeah. And it started with the McNabb. Then
Yeah.
he had Vic.
Other than Brady.
Then he went to Kansas City and he took a risk on a young guy.
Yeah.
And Mahomes. And look how history changed on that. Taylor back shoe, man. Can they three-peat? You're an avid fan. You see, or can this team that they're playing tonight, that everybody's been waiting for 15 years, Baltimore dethrone Kansas City, man?
I think they have the capacity to. I didn't think they were going to do it last year. But I really do think that Lamar Jackson's going to break through this year. I really think so. I think you add that big boy from Yulee, Florida in that backfield.
Yeah, man. Shout out Derrick Henry.
And it's going to change the dynamics of that offense. And so
That was
see.
a great pickup for them. You had
Much
to sit
needed.
back,
Much needed.
sit big back, and we got our young guy that we know,
Keaton Mitchell.
He'll
Yeah.
be coming back from injury, so they had
Yeah.
that thunder and lightning back there. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna pose it to you guys because you both the Cowboy fans, and we talk about playoff history with quarterbacks.
Sucker punch already.
Wow.
Y'all say he can get over the hump. Now, is he better than a regular season? Lamar's that dude. Mm-hmm. Can he do it in the playoff though? Mahomes can do it anytime. Mahomes
Right.
say that when the lights are brighter, that's when I show
Right.
up.
Right.
Can Lamar have that when the lights show up on us?
So I just want to get this part of it out the way because, I mean, quarterbacks get too much credit when they win and too much blame when they lose.
Right.
Lamar's just one guy. Like, I would say Todd Monken and his offensive game plan in the playoff game was terrible.
I go with you, but I'm not gonna let Lamar off the hook though, man.
Well,
His numbers go down considerably
We're
in the
not going to let
playoffs.
Lamar off the hook. But now, this is why I blame Lamar. Lamar has to get out his own
That's
way.
what I see, too.
Because it's like, dude, this is who you are.
Yeah.
You're not a pocket passer.
Yeah.
Dog, you're an incredible athlete playing quarterback. You can throw.
Yeah.
But you have to let your legs carry you through this thing.
That's what I could never understand.
That's what Pat
Chad.
Mahomes do.
He get to the playoffs now. He want to be. He looks like he reading the stats and reading the Twitters. He read Twitter. Now he want to throw 30, 40. I'm like, dog, you got to this point by being one of the most dynamic players in football.
You got to continue with. You got to ride the horse that got you there.
Do what you
He
do.
didn't.
But I'm looking for it. This is gonna be a great game tonight. Everybody, and I know tomorrow when we wake up, social media, everybody gonna say because of one game, who's the Super Bowl champion after all that. But it's just one game, people.
And you know, and I'll say this, and I know some people are gonna not like it, but Mahomes has the officials as well. Undeniably.
So you said
I think that I'm
he's Jordan-esque.
so they can't touch him.
Worse. They cannot touch him.
He can't be
And
touched.
then they wait until after the play's over to bring things back.
They call that the
So,
Brady rule because Brady
yeah.
couldn't be touched either. So.
It's worse.
Yeah, because you remember
And-
Brady when
yeah.
they created a whole law for Brady. Remember when he got hurt that year?
The Brady rule.
They came back the next year like,
The touch.
you better not touch down here. You can't touch right here.
You better go real high on quarterbacks.
And you can't go but so high. You gotta go.
You
gotta
gotta
have a
go
specific
between.
target.
Yeah, you got like a small window. Like, well, what's the window?
But then the NFL side, guys, we're going to do something a little special this year. We'll give y'all a Friday night special, man. It's Philly versus who, make sure I forget.
Philadelphia plays the Green Bay Packers
Philly on Green Bay.
in Brazil.
In Brazil,
Who
make sure.
idea was this?
Hey, now if we were still playing.
Who idea was this? What are y'all doing?
So we bring it. They're going international again, make sure, because we already got games in Europe this year, but now they
You
said
can go,
go
and it's
Brazil.
not Brazil.
What's wrong with Brazil?
Everything is wrong with Brazil.
It's like
For a bunch of millionaires, everything wrong with
beautiful place down
Brazil.
there. It's a beautiful place
You know,
down there.
it's just like the Super Bowl. Someone always ends up getting it.
So we might get a story. What you saying? We might get a
a story or two or three.
And Teddy, you see a lot of players like, well, I'm just not coming out my hotel room because you got these. You can't have your camera, can't video this, you can't do that. But listen, and I don't want this to happen, but it's gonna happen because it always happened in Brazil. Some guys are gonna come back with some mail order brides. They gonna bring some ladies back to the States, and then they gonna be in the streets.
They're going to be in the street.
We've seen it happen multiple times.
Multiple. Yeah, multitude. A ton of times. Absolutely. That is a casualty of war.
So let's talk about these two teams, though. Philly, Green Bay. Can one of them be the NFC champion coming to the Super Bowl next year? They got two
That's our
guys.
arch enemy, right?
Yeah.
But I will say that I liked what they've put together. I do.
Hard to say, ain't it?
But yeah, they're better than Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because I mean it's Philadelphia and that ugly green, both of them, the regular one and the Kelly green everybody likes, terrible. But I mean, I look at Jalen. I mean, they picked up Saquon,
Yeah.
which I think was a very good pickup. But their question is Nick Sirianni. He's under the microscope,
Yeah,
like
big time.
And the Eagles front office, they fired a coach who won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have a lot of patience with
Yeah.
Sirianni. Knowing the money that they paid to Jalen and just the commitment they've made to their roster. And, I mean, it's this old fella out there doing TV, and he on InstaFace now, named Bill Belichick, who... You think they won't call him up and say, hey, you want this job?
I want to tell anybody who hired Bill in the future, y'all know he's 73 already.
Yeah, but he got like a 22-year-old girlfriend.
That might kill him early.
Not with the medicine they got out here.
He might take too much medicine. You gotta be careful out in these streets. You gotta be careful out in these
Bill out here
streets.
riding bikes, and I seen Bill doing a lot of wild stuff out here.
You see, he probably got that Grecian for him to go into, trying to keep that hell.
Hey man, when you rich like Bill,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you got a few advantages.
You got a few advantages.
That other everyday guys who got to wake up and punch the clock.
Yeah.
They don't have those same advantages.
So I'm gonna ask y'all this: NFL first week we're here. I tell you the game I'm looking out for. It's no secret. Atlanta, Pittsburgh. It's the game I'm looking at. I want to see what this. Make sure don't put us on the spot saying NFC Championship.
Y'all got one job, dog.
I'm waiting to see one guy. Achilles heel. I want to see what
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I want to see what Kirk do.
You ordered the Kirk Cousins jersey yet?
Not yet.
Oh my God. I might tick off a whole lot of people, but I was like, what the heck? when that
$100
pick
million,
was made,
baby.
yeah, and it's like, let's I don't even want to get into the bias of that, because it is that's so biased. So he better put up numbers.
He better.
He better put.
I'm telling you right now, this will be his worst show if he don't.
Yeah.
Because they be looking at us every third. I'm like, hey, I didn't like that. That'd be my first phrase every week. I didn't like that.
I think Kirk.
He got weapons. He got everything.
Listen, he has everything. And this is why I can't stress to the city of Atlanta, you Falcon fans, get behind this team. All the way behind this team, because Terry Fontenot, Raheem, everybody, they pushed all that, poker. You look at the card, they pushed all their chips into the middle of the table. Dog, they going for it.
Yeah. And
They going for it.
we got Sierra's husband coming, so we better. Hey, this should be a good game. We got some defense coming. We got all these defensive weapons that we got. I want to see a great showing this Sunday.
Shout out to my boy Future.
I just say, let me tell you how petty everybody is. So everybody talking about, over under on number of songs played by Future, and now everybody like, well, Future gonna show. Why would Future come to the game?
He's gonna be there. He'll be there.
Why would he, man?
How you say it? Stupendous or spectacular? Which one you ready to say? Sensational. That's it. Sensational.
Him and Metro on tour, man.
He might come just for that game. Sensational. That's what he might say the whole game. Sensational. Sensational.
Man, Mr. Unlimited ain't worried about
What
that.
game y'all looking forward to? I know the game, but what y'all looking forward to?
So for me, yeah, I'm not. Definitely the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
425. Only because, and it's not about the Cowboys. I want to see Deshaun Watson. Everybody knows Deshaun Watson is my guy. Love me some Deshaun, but things hadn't gone his way since, Towel Gate, Massage Gate, whatever we want to call it. Mm-hmm. I just want the old Deshaun to come back. I just want the old Deshaun to come back. And of course I want Dallas to win.
But I'm waiting to see. I'm ready to see Dakota. They won't call him Dak on this show. We call him Dakota.
Yeah, we'll call him Dakota.
Till he
Dakota Rain.
Make sure he took away Dak from
Rain Dakota Prescott. His real name is Rain.
But I am sitting there, want to see what he do against this Cleveland defense, which is one of the best in the NFL.
It is a dope defense.
It's gonna be sensational. Sensational.
You a Cowboy, so what are you thinking about this game, man? This is a great litmus test. Everybody talking about, they're gonna blow. I said, y'all must ain't seen the same Cleveland that everybody else.
I don't get too hot or too cold during the regular season anymore, as much as in past years.
Yeah.
Dak will be sensational. The offense will be great.
Oh, yeah.
The defense will be great. We will beat them by 21, and it's our year again. So
Until
I'm
it's
gonna
not.
not pay attention in the regular season this year.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get caught up on it until they come to Atlanta, go to that game.
Right.
But it's the Cowboys.
Hey, man. Shout out to Corey. Corey said we the Rams East this year, I guess. Lisa, shout out Lisa. Lisa say not Falcons fan. I'm glad I gave up that bad habit. Ain't nobody worried about
Lisa,
future.
get back. Lisa, get back on the train. Atlanta fans, I implore you, get on the train this year because you don't want to miss it now.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it. Glaze, get that trash bag out the back of your
It's a lot of
closet.
stuff on top of it. So Falcons,
Glade.
I would do a video of me going back in
Pull
that closet.
that bag out.
And bring
Pull
it
that
out,
bag
man.
out.
Hey, bring it out. Let's keep going, man. Let's talk about college football real quick.
Okay.
Interesting week this last week. Shout out to Georgia Tech. They 2-0 right
2-0
now.
headed up upstate
Going to
New York.
Syracuse.
Going up to Syracuse.
But since we got a guy that we all know, I am so excited. Saturday, 7 o'clock.
You on duty.
I'm gonna be in the building.
You on duty.
Kennesaw State welcomes Louisiana into the building.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I've seen last week they played tough. They played a good game, but it didn't get a victory last year. Bohannon's hair was burning. He's boiling. So I want to see what they do this year. Give me your thoughts about the going to this. This is people don't understand going from the Big South. We talked about this little pregame to a Conference USA is not just an easy step.
Oh no,
it's a step.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
And talk about what you being a Kennesaw State guy and the thing that your expectations for things like that.
Well, I just want us to be really competitive. Last week, we faced one of the better teams
Yeah.
in Conference USA, and this week we faced another one that's pretty competitive. I just want to know who in the hell made the schedule.
They didn't like y'all
Two
this week.
toughest teams the first 2 games, but last week was very, very competitive, and we had a chance there. And I was on the sideline at that moment. I think the team is maybe a little smaller. Then we could be a little bigger, but they had some grit last week, and I hope that same thing carries over to this week because we're going to need it. The Cajuns are pretty tough,
Pretty good.
If we're competitive, I think we're going to edge them out and win this week. I'm going to go.
I'll be all for it, man.
The offense just needs to have more conviction,
right.
Right. And I think that put a good scheme together, offensive scheme. The defense is going to do what the defense does. I mean. The Cajuns are pretty tough.
Yeah.
But this is what I do like about Coach Bohannon. He's adjusted at every step of this process.
Yeah.
Like, say, we were there from the very first kickoff.
Because remember he first came, he had the 15 jersey.
Yeah. Listen, this team progressed.
Yeah.
I can remember Chandler Burke was the first quarterback.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just like, I got to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we've seen the evolution of the position. We've seen the evolution of the offense.
Yeah.
So it continues to get better. And the thing about them keep going up in conference, he's going to get a better athlete.
Yeah.
As far as recruiting, because now he's telling guys, listen, look at the schedule.
And we in the NIL days and transfer portals.
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, you want to go down? 75 is live. I call it a 75. You got Kennesaw, Tech, Georgia State. We up there. We got malls and everything, baby. Just come on up this way.
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to be more a difference with this, and I'm looking forward to. So this year, as somebody who covering the team, I just want to see competition. I want to see them competitive. I want to see them get out there and battle. Because I know it's going to happen. You're going to get fans going to come in. We got the whole Northwest Georgia, man. We get that area up there.
You're going to get a crunk in there.
And I say we, because we've been there since the beginning, so I feel
You're going to get a crunk in there.
Yeah.
Game's
They tried to give me the aisle the first year we was up. They're like, man, I don't want that aisle, man. You know, man.
Come on now.
My aisle's violent.
We got
you saw the claws on that thing? Like, no.
Georgia State also played. Shout out to Clark for winning this weekend, man.
CAU went down to Fort Valley.
We had Coach Teddy here as one of our guests, and in one game, everybody like, they put points up with his offense.
But what we say, they gonna score points. Clark gonna score points.
45 points, 45, 42 against Fort Valley, who everybody thought was gonna win by over 20 points.
They did. That's what they get.
That's what they get. And also, man, we got to give some love to Morehouse. They had a tough game. They had a tough loss. But we know we right around the corner from them, so we definitely got love.
Terrence Mathis.
Coach Terrence Mathis.
It's gonna be a process, and he talked about that when he was in here. It's going to be a process.
But you gotta let them.
Everybody relax.
You gotta let them build. You gotta let them build.
We're in such an instant gratification era now, where people think just because he played for the Falcons, that means he gonna win 10 games at Morehouse. No, man. Like, listen, look what the program was that he inherited. You gotta give him time to build. You gotta let him cook.
I always tell people, man, you gotta realize. Look at Colorado with Deion. He had 45 new players. You got to get those new players. Kennesaw State had 30, I think, new players come in. You got to get all these new players to your style.
They got to understand your culture.
You got to get them ready for that, man. And it's just different. Last thing before we get into our interview, make sure I got to watch your face. Braves, man, talk to me. What's going on with the Braves?
I don't want to talk about the Braves, but I will because I'm contractually obligated to talk about the Atlanta Braves. Listen. This is truly one of those years where we're just snake bitten.
Yeah.
We get guys back.
Every time.
We lose somebody.
Yeah.
Injuries. And listen, we probably avoided the injury bug the last couple of seasons. So we would just do. What pains me more than anything is I look at the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Now Mookie Betts back.
Yeah.
They got the best record in
Everybody get better,
there,
man.
and they just rolling.
Everybody getting better, man.
They just rolling.
So-
Look at the Phillies, man. But they the Phillies. Even though Bryce got hurt the other night, they still just find ways to win baseball games. Whereas the Braves,
We got a chance for a wild card, or we out?
I mean, we're in the
Well, I
wild
thought we in
card
the wild
race.
card, right?
We like 2 games out, a game ahead. We're a game ahead of the Mets. Our problem is we always need the Mets to be like the rabbit, because the years we have to go chase the Mets down, we're good in those seasons.
Yeah.
So chasing the Phillies is something different. So honestly, I don't want us to make the playoffs because I don't want to get my hopes like, oh yeah, do win the wild card game, and then we get in one of these series, get blowed out. So,
Last year I still ain't.
I'm
got
good
it.
on that.
I still don't got it last year because I just knew we were gonna beat the Phillies last year. Teddy, you tuned the baseball, man.
Not as much as I should be. I'll go to a game here.
Good.
I
Don't
do say this though. I can't wait for my traffic to clear up.
Yeah, don't emotionally invest in the Braves, Teddy. Not this year. Start wait the next year.
Yeah.
When Acuna come back and
We do got one more thing to talk about. This is a great race in the WNBA. The Atlanta Dream are in close to 8th. They're 1 game out.
Man, we got to start giving away these games.
So we got to win. We play tomorrow versus Dallas. They come into town who are very hot right now. So
Enrique.
this is going to be a very interesting game. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. We had our injury bugs too, but we should see. We're waiting to go.
Shout out to the OG Tina Charles. Tina Charles continues to just take people to school.
She just made me feel
Night
bad.
in, night out. She is
16
doing
years
work.
in the game.
Yeah.
16 years game.
Yeah.
So y'all go out there and make sure y'all check on the Lakers and work with those ladies, man. So, yeah, man. So we got the guy here, man.
Yes.
The myth. I'm going to introduce him, if you don't mind, make sure. You can add your 2 cents.
By
in,
all
sir.
means, by all means. I just got the first quick because I have a financial question.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait.
So we've been blessed to know this guy over 10 years. Probably more. Thank God for my barber, John. Shout out to Buck. He said he's going to be listening tonight. Shout out to our guy, John.
Shiny handle.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Teddy Parrish, founder of Parrish Capital. He's also big CEO or chairman of the board for the Kennesaw State Foundation.
You got to
Is it
know
just
people
football
like
or is
this.
it just overall foundation? I want to make sure I get that right.
The foundation.
The foundation.
The foundation. Yep.
He's big
Also
in
on
the
the
city.
athletics
He's a
association.
financial guy. You can see him on multiple things.
Yeah. Turn on CNBC. Turn on.
He's so big, we got my boy Jay Bailey up here checking
Yeah,
him out
crazy.
right now.
Oh no! We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Jesus.
But just guy that you can see on different cable. He's been doing it all, man. He's I call him a mentor. He don't even know it, man. I just kind of good to see people that you know on TV doing their thing,
Yeah,
man,
man.
and growing
Yeah,
and,
man.
and building things. And
He's helped me get my pocket square tie game together.
yeah,
And he don't never miss with that.
me and him always dapping up every game. So
yeah.
so please welcome guy Teddy Parrish to the building, man. You already introduced. We're gonna introduce you again, Teddy, man.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, guys.
We so happy you here, man. It's only right.
Family, man.
I
Family.
feel so good being here, guys.
That's what's up. But make sure say you got the first question. Go ahead, man.
So Teddy, I was talking to a lot of different guys, and me and Emmanuel, we were having this conversation as well. Jamar Chase did a lot of bucking this summer. I ain't gonna show up. I'm trying to tell these guys, listen, one thing the NFL dude's not gonna do, miss checks.
Yeah.
They're not gonna miss checks. Teddy, tell the people why it behooved one Jamar Chase to get in camp so he can get this game check on Tuesday.
You got to get that money.
Gotta get.
You got to get that money. Liquidity is everything. Liquidity is everything. Those checks aren't every month. You only get for and these some of those guys, not all of them, have really big cash expenditures every month.
Right.
And some of them may not have done the right
See, I got to
thing.
learn the big phrases.
And they have to, so they have to have that liquidity.
Yes.
But if they were to properly structure their finances, that wouldn't be an issue. They can be more flexible, be more aggressive in pursuing those contracts and staying out of camp. You can't spend it before you make it, and you don't need to overspend because you got to worry about after football, of course. But also, it has to grow,
Yeah.
especially when you are spending money like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, the majority of professional athletes come from situations where they've never seen money like that before. So, and the folks that are around them haven't seen money like that before. So, how and why would they know how to handle that much money when they get it? You know?
And I always thought about that, man. It's without calling out anybody. Do these young guys? They all say they hire financial people. What are these people doing for me? Because all I see is, like you said, they don't even have the luxury of holding out without sweating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have $16 million, and we know after 40% taxes, and you buy your houses and jewelry, you probably ain't got that much left in the bank, and you need that check.
Yeah.
But these financial advisors, are they telling them the right thing, or they just they can't tell them things? Because you can't tell. It's hard to tell a 22-year-old who ain't never had anything.
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to deal with a financial advisor who's going to worry about preserving it first, educating the client, and then proceeding in a prudent manner. It's not about appeasing to what they see as buzzwords and what they're investing in. So, just because crypto is crypto and everybody's talking about it doesn't mean they need to throw $1 million into it. I mean, no, the slow and steady way to do it is best a lot of times. So, you got to stick to, keep it simple. Growth is in stocks.
Yeah.
It's volatile, but it's never lost.
Yeah.
Real estate works, but at the same time, you don't need to go buy something that is shady.
Yeah.
I mean, in businesses, restaurants, you should avoid.
Yeah.
I mean, 95%
Everybody got a
of
Wingstop
those
boy.
situations have resulted in losses
Right.
and liability.
Wow.
And also, they also shouldn't be treated as if they're going to just blow it and be pushed into all insurance products, because that's the devil as well. You got to have an advisor who's going to look out for them, and serving in their best interest, a real fiduciary. And that's all I've ever done, because my reputation means everything in the world to
Right.
me. It's not about hitting home runs with everything. It's about singles and doubles and structure.
To get home still the same way. You know
And
what I'm
then
saying?
not rob them. And a lot of times they're trying to rob. I mean, they're taking too much. They're charging too much. Fees are high. The first thing I focus on when dealing with anyone, athlete, entertainer, millionaire next door, or wannabe millionaire next door, is to cut out as many unnecessary fees as possible. Period.
Wow.
And always maintain control. You be your own bank by building it and saving it and preserving it and structuring it the right way, not by buying a product. Period.
Ted, let's talk about these college athletes, because NIL has become such a prominent thing, and it's a lot of guys getting a lot of money. And you just kind of talked about, these NFL guys, they can't handle it. So imagine a
18-year-old.
18, 19-year-old
Yeah.
coming this. Talk to parents and the athletes, guys who are getting ready to walk into this NIL money. What are some of the pitfalls, some of the advice you would have for those parents and athletes?
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Avoid products, and just know that barring injury, this could be a foundational set of assets that could set them up for the future. And if they do make it big, you already got that base. So you need to do the prudent thing from day one. Don't go out and buy a car and all this other stuff.
Off the top.
Live your life normal, because all of that fame and environment you create with that money you get creates more pressure to only make you spend more money. So keep it simple. Be modest, and just because you made it big doesn't mean everybody else around you made it big.
Wow.
Things still occur where when you make it, everyone else, you got hangers on.
Right.
No, don't dish and dump your whole family, but at the same time, you got to wait. Let's build a business over
Right.
time, to help add value for everyone. But it's not about everyone. It's about preserving what you get, and structuring a portfolio so that if you don't make it, you're still set. Like I've had a few draft picks in baseball who've come aboard, got big money out of high school, and fortunately their parents were sound of mind and actually allowed us to counsel their kids, set them up in a way where that money's not there just in case they don't make it. And a couple of them didn't make it, but they're set for life.
Right.
And people don't realize that life is longer than 10 years, longer than 5 years, longer than 3 years. Because trust me, I'm in my 50s now. I'm like, God dang, I'm still doing this stuff. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the money you thought you had in your 20s, 30s, like, man, I wish I had some of that money now. But Teddy, talk to us about Parrish Capital. I love to bring it up. I tell everybody some of the things you've been doing it for a while now, and talk about financial things and things of that nature that y'all are part of.
So I started Parrish Capital in 2013. I left a firm I was with for 20 years because it was just a natural progression of my career. As a black man, I had to have my own label.
Yeah.
And so I started Parrish Capital to help, across the board, anyone who needs help, but also to educate the public. I managed money my whole career at a very high level. So I never use product. I never buy, things. I never outsourced the investing. I am a researcher by craft. So that's the unique thing about Parrish Capital. We don't go out and buy. We don't tell you what you need to do, plan and project, and then say, oh, turn it over to someone else. No, we actually implement it as well. So I've been very keen in running Parrish Capital in a way to actually control the investments in whatever genre, stocks, bonds, real estate, et cetera, to actually have all of that talent in-house to do that. And that way you can control the returns, the message, and the fees.
Yo.
So
that's what's up.
We've been pretty successful. We recently were approved for SEC registration, which means every state in the country, and we kind of waited on that for a while because that brings a whole other set of compliance into play. Yeah. But we've been fortunate. Our client retention ratio is very high because we take care of business and we do right by our client. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. You don't need to get rich off of someone. But my biggest thing and why I love what I do is to help people.
Yeah.
To help people who think that, that someone's out to get them, or that, save up in a 401k forever and then they get to retirement, don't know what to do. Yep. And it's actually making sure that money sustains you in retirement after you build it, actually helping them structure that portfolio to live off of it and it still grow. And then they may have a chance to have some legacy assets in the end. Pass on. That's generational wealth.
Generational
wealth. Love that phrase.
Teddy, settle this debate for me. This has been going around the internet for a few days now, and I've seen cold people in. Y'all, first of all, y'all stop tagging me and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Today, 2024, is $1 million a lot of money?
I mean, relatively to it. It is. I mean, it's according to where you are on the totem pole, right?
I'm right here.
Right.
I mean, $1 million. If you're at one spending level, yeah, it is. At another, it's not. But, I mean, you can't expect to make $75,000 a year and actually grow your portfolio to $1 million in your 401k and retire and spend $125.
Right.
I mean, inflation adjusted, the spending you can get from that is good, but it has to continue to grow. So $1 million, yeah, I mean, it's there are a lot more millionaires now. It's a lot of money for some people.
Right. And the reason I asked that because like the group that started the argument, one guy who we'll say he's pretty rich. And he was basically saying, listen, if somebody was to give me $1 million today, dude, yes, that can help me.
Yeah.
And then you had another side of the room who probably aren't millionaires. They're like, $1 million ain't nothing. I'm like, are y'all crazy?
Ain't none of y'all got it.
So if you're making $75,000 a year and you saved up for a 401k that has $1 million in it and you retire off of that, you got Social Security coming in probably 30, 40 grand a year. You're trying to sustain what you were living at a $75,000 level. So if half of your income in retirement is coming in off of Social Security, that $1 million means a lot to you because you can actually sustain that level of spending that you were used to through your life expectancy. Now, if you expect to spend more than you were making before you retired off of $1 million, it's not going to work, buddy.
Yeah,
and then the thing is, people want to think that I've taken all of the risk, saving this money in the 401k in stocks, and it's been going up and down. Now I'm retired. I'm going to pull it all and put it in cash. They're going to be broke in 10 years. The money has to continue to grow, and you need to know how to withdraw it from that tax-deferred account without the implications, I mean, you're going to pay taxes on it, but it's got to be structured properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what we do. So they ask, why do we get paid? Yeah, we get paid for performance and actually buying things that actually go up in value, but also the process of structuring your portfolio. So much has to be in bonds. You have to shop for those bonds, setting those distributions up for you to spend. I mean, it's planning and investing and structure.
The market just hit. It's a financial question, a business question. The market just hit 41,000, but we still hear that the economy is bad.
Yeah.
From your perspective, where are we at in the economy right now?
Well, we've had a really good run. We're in an election cycle. This is the year for that, and typically it's pretty volatile around that. Also, we're at a point of a transition in interest rate policy. They're going to start lowering rates, which should be good for the market. I think we're in a favorable market. I mean, it might be a little volatile, but if you have the time horizon, you know how long before you need that money. If it's an extended period, it could be a great time to really do well. But you got to know how to rebalance and take things that are in excess off the table and sit on a little cash for a while. And it pays to sit on cash now. Not all cash, because you need to have some money in the market. But, money markets are still paying over 5%. It's been a long time since we've been at these interest rate levels.
Yeah.
So while on the other side of it, in real estate, those higher mortgage rates kill the affordability rate of buying a new home, on the investment side and in the publicly traded markets, it's a great thing.
Charlie Patrick said he volunteered to show everyone how to live off $1 million. I do too. Give it to me. I will show y'all that it's still good.
You don't want to pay too much, I know that.
Yeah.
Whoever you deal with.
Yeah.
And I can come on here and talk about some things that will upset some people, but we'll leave that for another day.
That might be part two.
We won't upset about it today.
We'll do it later.
Tomorrow. But yeah. Teddy, we just talked about real estate, and man, we all know a lot of people, a lot of family, cousins, partners that are in real estate. You have some who like, it's a good time for the market. Then you got the other half who like, man, the market rough, but if you kind of can just get in there, talk about that part of it.
Real estate, they always say it's all about location.
Yeah.
Right? And that's true. So it depends on location. It depends on how much you're going to have to tie up into that real estate. It depends on what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build something that's generating income, then fine.
Yeah.
You can buy it, put enough down, hopefully get a favorable interest rate, and cash flow it. You got somebody renting it, whatever. You got the excess that's falling to your bottom line. But what's that number? I mean, what's the return on that each month?
Right.
Okay, and then you say, okay, it's illiquid, but it needs to be in your portfolio. You got to have a diversified portfolio. Real estate plays a big role in that. But I wouldn't be 100% real estate, because one thing about the publicly traded markets and stocks and stuff, that's liquid. And it goes up and down, but it's liquid. You can cash out at any time. I know folks who have tons of real estate. They do extremely well. This market, especially for Atlanta, I would say it's not necessarily undervalued as a whole.
Yeah.
There are pockets of undervaluation. There are pockets of excess. You just have to be careful. For me, I have lots of real estate, but I have lots of stocks and bonds and those things as well. I just want to be in control.
Right.
And the reason I wouldn't, me personally, put 60, 70% of my funds into real estate is because it's illiquid. And affordability, though, is a problem for people buying new homes because interest rates are so high.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can rent something out if you have it now. But the whole Airbnb game, a lot of people play that, and that's good for them. But at the end of the day, it's ROI, return on investment.
Lord.
How much are you making?
Yeah.
And if you're buying it for income and renting it, that's one thing. If you're buying it for a quick flip, that's speculative. So you got to watch out how much you speculate.
Everybody want to flip.
But yeah, I mean, real estate's great. My
that
wife
industry kind of dead. Remember how on HGTV, Flip My House, like everybody was flipping houses.
It's not as easy anymore.
Yeah, sure ain't on no more. The interest rate
see-
went like that.
We have my wife Tosh. We have a real estate brokerage, and we have the other side of it is a real estate mortgage company as well. So I mean, we're involved in investments on this side with Parrish Capital and also real estate.
Let me ask you this, man. Then we'll get to the Kennesaw State because y'all gonna want to hear this story. It's just amazing the work that has been done in a decade at Kennesaw State. But before we get there, what is all under? You talk about the different businesses under Parrish Capital. Is it multiple businesses up under there, or is it just what all do you got your hand in the cookie jar, as they say?
So Parrish Capital, we're a RIA, registered investment advisor, and we invest funds for the masses. It's pretty straightforward. We have some situations where we buy. I mean, they talk about private equity and hedge funds and all that. We have some exposure to that, but the lion's share of it is actually investing directly for folks in liquid assets. And that's the main business for Parrish Capital. Now, there are a couple other businesses Assertive Mortgage,
Yep.
which is my wife's Tasha's business, and Elevate Real Estate, which is a real estate brokerage, have agents and everything. The mortgage side of the business for Tosh is doing well, even with affordability rates at a bad place, because she's very creative in how she gets people approved, and she deals with a lot of influencers, a lot of folks that are making a ton of money off of social media and a newfound wealth there.
Boy.
And getting them deals where they can't get from traditional sources. Like you go to the bank, you're not going to have someone working for you to get that thing approved.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, where your check stubs?
Yeah.
You can't get them on Instagram.
Yeah, but she does programs where they do bank statement loans for entrepreneurs.
That's what's up.
And but yeah, we have a lot going on.
Yeah, I do.
But it's my primary business. I'm a researcher, so I'm actually running the team that's selecting the investments and actually making the money. Then we have a planning side who does the financial planning, whether it's corporate or individual, high net worth individuals. So we're doing that, investing the money, and stewarding people through to meeting their goals. I love what I do.
I got to ask about this 401k.
Do it.
Because once upon a time in our parents' era, it was all about, and they taught us that, you get the job, you working 30 years, your 401k gonna be out of here.
Pension great. Yeah.
All of that stuff. But now it's, and because a lot of our generation kind of hop job to job.
Yeah.
I'm here. Do I pull out that 401k? Do I? Just talk about the 401k game now.
So,
and is it truly sustainable?
So there's been a lot of media attention around the fact that the first generation of folks who retired with a 401k aren't doing so well. And it's not because of the actual system and the structure of a 401k, it's because of those individuals. They didn't do the right thing. You should not borrow from your 401k. And a lot of people did. And they get to retirement, they don't have enough saved, and now they're blaming the whole system. It's not the system's fault, it's the individual's fault. The structure of a 401k is still quite lucrative in the way to go, because money grows faster in a tax-deferred situation, meaning you put money in, you get a tax deduction for that, and it grows without having to pay tax until you start pulling it out.
Right.
Still the best thing since sliced bread in my mind, because on average, and there's a study done by J.P. Morgan Chase, money growing in a tax-deferred account net after you take it out in retirement versus growing it in a taxable account, there's a 15% difference.
Wow.
That's huge. So,
Wow.
I mean, I still think the 401k market is great. However, I will tell you this, the Roth IRA is still, if you make enough money, if you're not above the limits to put money into those, or a Roth IRA is still a great thing. You put after-tax money in it, and you never have to pay taxes again on it. And if you in the area of generational wealth, and I put something on my Facebook recently. I said, it's the beginning of the summer. Put those kids to work out there mowing the lawn and pay them. And when you pay them, you can put money in up to $7,000 a year into a Roth IRA and invest it. Don't touch it. And that sets them up for generational wealth. After-tax money goes in, you don't get a tax deduction, but you never have to pay taxes again.
On that money.
$1 can go to $1 million. and you don't have to pay taxes on it again. And there are some things you can take it out for before you're 59 and a half, like for education, and also 10 grand for your first time home purchase, and some other emergency things. So the system of the 401k and all these other tax beneficial accounts is still a great system.
Right.
I firmly believe in that.
Wow.
And for people who are bouncing around, you change jobs, you have this $50,000 over here, $60,000 over there. Just because they do that doesn't mean it's bad. They need to have the common sense to find a advisor or do it themselves and merge it all together. That's your base portfolio. And put it in an index fund if you don't hire a professional. Put it in a mutual fund to let it grow. Don't take it out. It's the worst thing you can do. You get penalized before 59 and a half, and you pay the taxes.
That's what's up.
It's a waste. It's a waste.
So, Teddy, one of the things that you've done, and congratulations, you became the chairman of the board for the Kennesaw State University Foundation. Since you played at Kennesaw, you've been a part of it, you've seen the growth in it, from the basketball program becoming a D1 program to the college football program, which is turning 10 this year.
Right. It's a baby.
To being a big-time powerhouse, starting off 7-6 and then just going to playoffs each year, to now they're with Conference USA. As someone who has their hands in this growth of this college, because now everything is Conference USA. What have you seen, and how proud are you of what the school has been able to do up there?
It's amazing. My whole dream coming up was to be in Atlanta, and I ended up in Kennesaw, which I still think that's Atlanta. But to be a part of it is very sentimental. I get emotional about it because I've come full circle. I come from actually being a student athlete playing basketball up there and actually benefiting from the foundation that I'm the chair of now. Their work back then, I mean, the apartments we stayed in were a foundation-owned apartment complex that, I got the benefit of part of my scholarship. They created that. To now, being at the helm as chair, putting my best effort forward to help not only students in the student experience, but to help build and grow the infrastructure that we need for this new venture in the Conference USA. And, we have 47,000 students out there. And sometimes I get on the ground and just go out there.
I thought it was 35.
It's crazy. It's 47 this year.
That's crazy.
And then with football, I mean, that's kind of how I got on the Board of Trustees. I was 2009 40 under 40 for Georgia Trend Magazine, on the cover of the magazine at the award ceremony. Dan Papp, former president, was there to present me the award. Surprised the heck out of me. He's like, "Hey man, this is great. I have a project for you, and once you do this project, we'll see about getting you a better opportunity, maybe the Board of Trustees." And that project was the exploratory committee for football, Kennesaw State. I was the co-chair with Vince Dooley, and I did the projected cost for the football program back in 2010, 2011. Football started in 2015.
Yeah.
We never thought that we would grow, that we'd be making this transition to FBS this fast.
Right.
It's the fastest ever to go from our level to FBS, or the second fastest. I think University of Texas.
Yeah, that's pretty.
FCS to FBS.
It was an amazing.
So it's.
And I could be this. I tell everybody, I stay in the Ackworth, Kennesaw area, and my wife, she's got a master's from Kennesaw State. And we were just trying, that's a good school, all right, nice little people. We were talking about when the football, like, what are we going to do all this? Shut me up.
Big time.
Shut me up. Big time. It's going up. Well, go ahead, man.
We're nowhere near.
No.
We got to be. We got a lot to do.
And that what leads me to this question here, Teddy, because one of the things, excuse me, I've always said this about the NCAA and the growth with just the revenue. When the NCAA first started, it was no way they envisioned TV contracts, just all these things. Like, it's absurd to think that college coaches are like the highest paid employees in the state.
In the state. That's what I keep state
like
employees.
if you look at any state, like go to any list, it's Kirby, it's Sark, it's all of these college coaches are the highest paid employee in the state. Just talk about that part of it and how college athletics has just become this roller coaster for money.
It is crazy. It's crazy. So when we were doing our research for the projected costs, we started at the top of the chain, Ohio State at the time,
Yeah.
and they were making $110 million
Yeah.
a year. And peeling the onion back and looking at how, I mean, the TV rights, fans, that's a lot of money. So we're nowhere near on that level. And we're of course we're having to piece things together. It's not a struggle, but it's just a process.
Right.
It's definitely it's akin to corporate America.
Yeah.
It's that large.
Yeah.
I think the responsibility lies in making sure that money goes toward, student success and student experience, because that's what it's all about. And are we there yet? I would say no. I mean, overall for the system, I mean, there's some questionable things that go on
Yeah.
with the NCAA,
yeah.
but we're getting better.
Yeah.
And transitioning a bit here, NIL is forcing the hand of a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, these student athletes and these students are going to start getting a lot more benefit. And I think NIL is kicking a lot of that off. It's a struggle, man. I mean, it's hard to compete.
Because they found that the athletes have found their power. They understand that on Saturday, on Tuesday night in that arena, in that stadium, they're not coming to see Kirby walk around and throw a visor. They're not coming to see the AD.
Because absent NIL, where does that money go?
Hello.
I mean, I've been running. I mean, I've been helping to run our endowment.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I first joined the board. I went right into the investment committee, which was a subcommittee of finance, and I pushed to have it broken out into its own committee, so we didn't have to answer to the finance committee and the executive committee.
Right.
So I mean, I understand the dynamics of growing that money, and I see what we do at the university with our the Kennesaw State Foundation, what we're doing with our funds, because our mission is to support the university, and believe me, we're supporting it. We're supporting the president, and for instance, gap scholarships.
Yeah.
There are so many kids who are this close to graduating, but they don't have $1,000 here, $2,000 here, there to graduate.
For those who know, GAP is covering the amount that
They need to finish.
they need to finish.
They don't have the money.
And
So,
sometimes you just don't have a couple of thousand.
So I see, that's the beauty of it. I see the inner works of what we're doing, and we're doing absolutely the right thing. We're supporting students, we're supporting the president, we're supporting the university. And our endowment isn't as large as, nowhere near as large as some of these multi-billion-dollar endowments. I mean, sometimes I think to myself, it's just the money's just sitting there growing for some of those other schools.
Glaze, is funny. I think about whenever you and I go on these trips and we go see like these schools, like when we took the trip to Clemson, and you walk in and we see the slide, we see the ball. They talk about, this was a $40 million project, and next year we're gonna spend another $30 million over here on this right here, and it's crazy
Even
because
the Flash, remember, we was at the alumni coming out with all the checks.
Georgia Tech. So for homecoming at Georgia Tech, the top 5 classes that raise the most money get to be on the field.
Oh wow!
So you see like class of '95, they raised $7 million.
Yeah.
This class raised $10 million, and it's like the money is just crazy.
It's crazy.
Imagine this, Teddy. You like to be a part of things that grow.
Absolutely.
What is that? What just draws you to that? Because you could easily you could just do Parrish. You could just do your thing.
Hey, we're getting down to it now, man.
But you be, every time I look, Teddy this, I'm like, dang, he don't sit down.
Man.
What is it about being a part of stuff that grows that helps?
Man, but Kennesaw State, I'm gonna tell you, it is the most rewarding feeling to actually see, the growth, but then the end product, the actual students, actually helping these kids, their experience and helping them be successful. That's what it's about at the end of the day. So I always check myself and make sure that I get on the ground like I go to student affairs and I go around and see what's going on, because it's like running it's like running a city,
Right.
medium-sized
Yeah.
city with
Yeah, it's a whole city.
50,000 students. And man, there's a not a hospital, but there are clinics there. There's a food bank. I mean, some of these kids struggle. So actually helping their experience, and making sure that, they're okay, they're getting what they need. It's an awesome feeling. But then to sit at graduation, you can sit on stage, and you can actually shake every one of their hands if you want to. It is great. And then when embracing them and having them come back, because that's how I started. Going back, talking to classes and stuff. It's just something about it. Kennesaw's still a university where the community still has a huge impact.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of, for any donors who may put their name on a building or do a scholarship, it's the best investment, the highest ROI, of any university in the system, I think. Because you see the
That is so
results.
dope, man. I can only imagine you were talking about the gap, about the gap part of it. And to see a kid who, like I said, got all their credits.
Yeah.
Got 2 classes. They just need $700. They just
Finish.
need $1,200 to finish.
And they come to the foundation.
And to see that kid get that degree and then go off and get his career, because those are always the kids who are going to come back and are going to be loyal to the
Absolutely.
school. That's
Get
dope.
across the finish line, man.
And our students, they get jobs. They get
Oh,
jobs.
definitely.
They get jobs.
Definitely.
And we have a program called the Ascend program, where they're actually homeless students that we have set up, like, I think it's 4 houses now. And we can't help every one of them the way we need to, but
Right.
they get room and board, scholarship. Imagine now being homeless. Nothing, no family, no nothing, and having a room and board taken care of, and you pay your way through school.
That's awesome.
And then they present to you at some of these board meetings, man. And I'm sitting there like, wow, this is crazy. And a lot of our students are first generation
College graduates.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
it's amazing.
Real quick, we got a few minutes to talk about next week, Tuesday.
Okay,
I'm sorry about
so
that. Look at the time.
no,
bro.
But time fly. We
Yeah, I
had
know,
fun.
man. I can talk about it, man.
we're having a golf tournament next week, and I'll go ahead and say it because they're probably just squirming. If they're watching this, the handlers, the people who make sure you're not violating anything.
Yeah.
Because I am a official as a board member. So this golf tournament next week is not a KSU sanctioned event.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with KSU, the organization, nor the foundation. The golf tournament is Coach Petway. He's a great coach, basketball coach,
He is.
by the way.
He's full of energy.
He have this organization because the pressures of NIL are so immense that we got to do something for these players to retain them and make sure they're okay, because they're getting paid. So this golf tournament is kind of an NIL thing. The funds from this tournament go directly to the players.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
whoever donates or gets a team or whatever, the money goes straight to the players.
That's what's up.
That day, cutting checks
That's what's
on
up.
Tuesday at Atlanta National.
Players need that, man, because them guys walk around talking, man, I can't even go get no pizza.
Yeah.
Training table closed.
Yeah.
And
Like
if
you
y'all-
say, in an environment, because there's some great athletes on that basketball team. People see that, and they're gonna offer them, hey, we got this over here.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now.
Them sharks at the door.
I'm telling
Them
you right
sharks
now.
at the door.
I ain't trying to knock nobody, but y'all better come up the road and watch some of these basketball games this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Antoine Petway's building something very special.
He got something over there.
And we're gonna make a run this year.
Before we go, shout outs. Any shout outs before you go?
I like to shout out my mama. Hey, mama. Nah.
What up, Bobs?
At KSU, my lovely wife Tosh and her businesses, and Petway, Bohannon. Football this week. We're playing the Raging Cajuns.
Raging
Good
Cajuns.
luck with that. I mean,
I always
I like
feel-
to shout out you guys, man. Thanks.
I always feel a little bit richer after I'm talking to Teddy, man.
Maybe I want to check my checkbook.
Yeah, I feel good about myself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I might go.
you gotta have the swag too. Man, I hope y'all have me back on though.
Man, what?
We go talk because it's kind of like a good luck because we got to do a part 2 because I can't wait to see after this a few years
Mm-hmm.
and how this grows because, you know, I tell Mayshaw all the time, dog, a lot of this stuff went here. I'm like, dog, this was
Dude, every time I go up there, I'm shocked. I'm like,
Yeah.
when they build that?
I've been since 1999. I'll be like, yo, this thing just keeps growing.
Like, where did it come from?
We got some projects I can't talk about right
Yeah.
now. Over the next 5 years, it's going to transform with the blessing of the Board of Regents and the system office. If everything comes to fruition, the whole dynamic, everything's going to change for the better.
I can't
And
wait.
by the way, we do have 26, a little more of our students are African American.
Yeah.
Graduates.
I got 3 cousins up in Kennesaw State.
I have a lot of family up there too.
Yeah. Shout out to KSU.
Right next to it. So, man, shout out to everybody. Hey, man, want to say real quick, our guy Xavier, our engineer, this is his last show.
Yeah.
He going up. He got big plans,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Get that money, young man.
Yeah.
He got big plans, so
Face-
we wish you all the
He
best.
finna go
my brother.
triple platinum out here in these streets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wish you all the best out there, my
no
brother.
doubt. No doubt.
For my guy Teddy, man. Thank you, brother.
It's my guy.
Man. Yes.
Yo.
For
Yeah.
my man, make sure you killing it today, sir. I gotta admit,
Hey.
the Hawk thing is fresh. It's
Only thing I
fresh.
ain't want to wear none Cowboys today because I'm saving that for tomorrow.
Cowboys, I love them.
And to everybody out there, thanks to the Russell Center as always, man. And we'll see y'all guys next week, guys. Peace.
Thanks.
Hey, what's up?
My thing, I'm gonna do.
I feel so good now.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm finna go.
I ain't. Yes, and there's a lot going on, but